They come together from all over the continent in the city that gave birth to the concept of African unity. The issue of independent financing for the African Union and wider reform of the organization are on the agenda. Tackling corruption in Africa will also dominate discussions here, but it's tough not to be skeptical.
We waste time. We sit here and waste time. Say it again. Because what is going to help those people in the streets there in the sun, what we are debating here, taking hours and so on.
The African Union will name President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria as its first ever anti-corruption champion for the year 2018. It's an endorsement seen as a recognition for President Buhari's efforts in the fight against graft in Nigeria. All eyes will likely be on this man though. Rwandan President Paul Kagame will not only take over as chairman of the AU General Assembly, but is also expected to use his year at the helm to push through the agenda he developed for a more independent AU. Money has always been a sticking point at the AU. It now wants to have its activities bankrolled by its members. The self-financing scheme requires member states to levy a 0.2% tax on eligible imports to finance the union. But so far, just 21 of the 55 member states have implemented it.
Having a predictable financing for our security financing programs and also development programs is a prerequisite, which means that we need to create a mindset, a kind of spirit that the African Union can shoulder its own development programs.
2018 promises to be even more eventful for the African Union. 18 of its member states have elections scheduled, and 13 of them are either in conflict emerging from one or have a history of electoral strife. The AU's chronically understaffed and underfunded Department for Political Affairs cannot effectively monitor all these contests. Its officials say they will concentrate just on those requiring more scrutiny.
Still, there are problems, but Africa now is taking its own problems by its own hand, by its own solutions. African solution to African problem.
There will be notable absentees from the summit this year though. Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe and Angola's Jose Eduardo dos Santos, veterans of the struggles of a previous era, both of whom have stepped down after almost 4 decades in power. Their departure, some say, is proof of a continent headed in the right direction. Mohammed, Adow, Al Jazeera, Addis Ababa.